I'd like to thank Senators defenseman Thomas Chabot for joining us this afternoon. Before we get started, I know that Thomas would just like to say a couple of quick words.
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Obviously, it's a weird situation for everybody, but hopefully you guys are doing well. Your family are as well, and everybody's staying safe. So, Chris, I'm ready for the first question.
Okay, great. Thanks. The first question comes to us from Wayne Scanlon with Sportsnet.ca. He's asking a couple part to this question. He's asking, where are you? How have you been spending your time? And he's wondering if this situation has afforded more time with family or even with your dog.
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously at that time of the year, usually, well, now the season be over, but I think you usually spend a lot of time in Ottawa. You don't get the chance to see your parents a whole lot during the season. So, no, it's definitely a lot of fun to be able to spend time with my brother, my parents as well, and obviously with my dog too. I think I'm usually kind of gone most of the time during the season, so he spends a lot of time with his mom. But it's fun to be with him. But no, I think it's I'm back home right now with my parents. We've been obviously trying to stay away from people, kind of thing, trying to stay healthy. I've been keep on working out, trying to stay healthy, trying to keep the body moving every day, going for walks and stuff like that. But other than that, it's been going really well.
Okay, the next question comes to us from Bruce Garrick with Post Media. He's asking if you're confident that there will be hockey again this season, and if you are, what you're doing to stay ready for it.
I mean, it's a situation that kind of changes over with all the news, and we get. Hopefully, we'll get the chance to play again for sure. But no, whether we are or we're not, I think I'm still trying to do a little something. Either go for runs or go on rollerblades. Keep working out in my basement. I'm lucky enough to have that a little setup downstairs in my basement, so I've been doing a little bit every day just to keep I guess the game shape going.
Okay, the next question comes to us from Brent Wallace with TSN. He's asking if you've tried to learn a new hobby or if you're doing anything different than you normally would be doing right now, given the downtime.
Not necessarily a hobby or anything, but I've been obviously you're playing. We're playing a lot of cards here with our family. We're playing. My girlfriend and I actually started doing puzzles, which something probably I hadn't done in what 10, 12 years. So we've been trying to do a whole lot of different stuff, playing little board games or trying to keep busy, I guess.
Okay, the next question is a two-part question. Wayne is asking if you can walk us through the COVID-19 experience. Has it pertained to being part of a team that was hit hard by the virus? And then Bruce has asked if you're continuing to monitor that situation for new updates about it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm following it every day. Now that I'm in Quebec, we're listening to every advice that we can get, obviously. I'm still taking it very serious. It's something that everybody should be really take it serious. It's a big thing going around, but no, obviously the team, the guys that were affected by it, luckily enough, they're all feeling really well. They're all recovered, which is a great sign for us. But I mean, once the virus kind of started, we all kind of followed the rules type thing that we were told to do, and we've been trying to stay safe and stay healthy. Obviously, you got to watch every little thing you do, but no, it's been fine so far.
Okay, the next question is from Dan Sagan with CBC Ottawa. He says Pierre Dorion recently mentioned that he was impressed with the improvement that you made to your defensive game this season. What adjustments did you make to improve, and how would you rate your overall development to this point in the year?
I mean, it's been going pretty well. Obviously, it's something that I've been saying for years. It's something I want to really get better at, and being a good, solid two-way defenseman and playing against the top players from other teams. Obviously, it's far from being perfect, but obviously, like we say, if every year we can get better and take a step towards being better, then that's a good sign. But we've been doing a lot of videos for sure with DJ and Jack during the season. We've been making sure every little thing's in the zone in front of the net, little details that make a big difference in the game. So No, it's been going. It went pretty well. We're getting better, and that's what we focus on.
Okay, the next question is from Adam Kimmelman with NHL.com. He's asking if you were to look back to when the season was paused on the 12th of March, if you could identify one teammate or maybe a couple of teammates who most impressed you with the steps that they were able to take this season.
I'd probably go with obviously Anthony Duclair. I think he really obviously you knew coming into this year he was going to have a bigger role, and I think he took a big step, which led him to go into the All-Star, and it was very well deserved for him. He scored a lot of goals. He played really well for us as a team. Just his speed, the amount of skills that he has, his hockey sense is very good. So no, I was very impressed in the way he played. Obviously, we knew he could definitely do it, and he took his chance this year and having a bigger role on the team. And I think it helped him and help our team to have a bit more success.
Okay, the next question is from Josh Clipperton at the Canadian Press. He mentions scientists and medical experts have said recently that sports could potentially resume this season, but without fans in arenas. If that also potentially meant playing in neutral sites, so away from home and away from family, how would those scenarios sit with you?
I think it'd be fine. Obviously, if you can get back and playing the game, I think it'd be fun. Obviously, it'd be a situation you're not used to and having no fans in the stands. But I mean, at that point, I think it'd just be something that that guys would be willing to do. I think obviously playing hockey would be fun. I think just getting back on the ice and getting with the guys back in the locker room, and obviously everything has been kind of different. Everything's been kind of weird with the situation. But I think if that comes to this point, I think obviously I'd be happy to do it.
Okay, the next question is a follow-up from Bruce. He's asking if the season were ultimately to be canceled, how would you evaluate your year?
It's been okay. Obviously, I knew coming into this year was going to be a different year. Obviously, we were a younger team, and we were going to have some up and downs during the season. But obviously, I know definitely that next year I want to start the season and have a better year than I did this year. But I think when we look back on specific things like my game in my own zone, I think we took a really good step. So that'd be something that next year I want to bring back and keep on getting better. And obviously, it was a bigger challenge every night playing against the top lines. But I think those are challenges that I'm looking forward to. It's something that I want to bring into my game, and I want to do for the days that we'll be in the playoffs, playoff team. Sorry.
Okay, the next question is also from Adam at NHL.com. He's asking if you can speak to the impact that DJ Smith and his systems have had on this group, and what the most positive item that you can take away from this season.
I think it's I'll start with positive. I think it's huge for us as a team to see anytime somebody was called up, a younger guy that came through and had a really good impact on the team, really shown that he could play and he wanted to stay there. Obviously, the team in Belleville was having a good year, so that was a different situation. But I think it was fun seeing as a player to see a lot of younger guys coming in and really showing everybody they wanted to be there and they want to be part of the success we're going to have later on. And I think that was a big thing for us. And obviously DJ, yes, and the coaching staff has been huge for us. Obviously, we're a young group of guys. We're still learning. Obviously, some nights it's going to go well, some nights it's not going to go as well. But this is all part of the plan, and we had the coaching staff support all year. They're trying to make us change our identity and skating and playing hard every night and never giving up. And I think we've shown that plenty of times during the season. And I think that's something we got to keep building on for the years to come.
Okay, the next question is a follow-up from Dan Sagan. He's asking, once you were to start looking ahead to next year, do you expect next year's team to be stronger despite the team's commitment to rebuilding?
Yeah, for sure. I think when you look at the guys that were on the team this year, everybody's getting a year older. Everybody's got one more year of experience. So I think, yes, definitely we want to take a step next year. When you look at the guys that we're down in the American League. Some of those guys are going to want to make the jump and have an impact on our team next year. So definitely, I am thinking that we will be a stronger team, a better team next year. And I think everybody in the locker room agrees on that, and everybody wants to do it and make it happen.
Okay, the next question, Bruce, kind of, it's along the same lines, but he's asking what you might expect some of those improvements to be for next year.
Well, I think we've been talking a lot this year about changing the identity as a team, and that was on playing hard and skating and using our speed and all that. But I think this is the thing that we want to do. We want to be a team that we'll stick together and we'll build together. Obviously, we always, like you said earlier, we always talk about the rebuilding. So there'll be some pieces added over the years for sure. But I think at the end of the day, we got to start now. We got to start changing things and playing the way we want to play every night. And I think we've shown that a few times this year. And when we did it, I think we had success. We were playing really good hockey. So I think we did take a step this year, and we want to build that, keep it going for next year training camp. And as soon as the season starts, then we're ready to go and do the same thing.
Okay, the next question is also from Brent at TSN. He's asking if there's been a lot of chatter among teammates during this pause, and if so, who has been the most talkative?
I think we all kind of have. I think obviously with the switch that's going on, we've been talking a lot, trying to keep on update. We've been doing some different talking, but I think everybody kind of is jumping into it. We're all trying to stay informed and trying to keep in touch with each other. Obviously, like we always say, it's a different, it's a weird situation for all of us. It's something we're not used to, but everybody wants to be informed. Everybody wants to follow up on things.
Okay, the next question is from Bruce. It's also a teammate related question. He's asking if you had to be quarantined with one teammate, who would it be, and who would you most want to avoid?
I'd probably go with Brady, since we're roommate on the road. We kind of know our sleeping schedules, and we kind of know when we want to have our own free time and not really talk to each other in the room. But probably to avoid, I think that's a tough answer, a tough question, but I think I'll go with Colin White, because we were roommate the year before, and he loves talking and he loves putting music. Don't get me wrong, I love talking with him, but just for the sake of the question, I'll answer him because he's gonna laugh at it. But no, I think it's if I had to pick to be with someone, it'd be with Brady, since we spent the whole year being roommates together.
Okay, the next question is also from Josh at the Canadian Press. He says that it looks like the NHL draft might end up being held either online or perhaps in a hotel ballroom. So do you feel for players who won't get the experience that you got to experience on draft day, including getting your name called and walking up to the stage in front of family and friends?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's well, it's a weird, like we always say, it's a weird situation, but for sure, I think it was one of the greatest moments of my life, getting drafted and being there and having the chance to have not only my family, but I did have a lot of friends and family members there. So no, it was definitely a moment I'm always going to remember. It was something we really enjoyed as a family. But no, for sure, I think it's a different situation. It's part of what we're going through right now, but. Definitely, I think if I remember the time when I got drafted, it was a great time, and it was something I'm never going to forget.
Okay, the next question is also a draft-related question. It comes to us from Guillaume Lepage at NHL.com. He's asking about Alex Lafreniere. He wants to know your thoughts on how you think he handled the pressure this year, given he is a top-rated prospect, similar to the fact that you were the top-rated prospect from Quebec as Alex is when your draft year came about in 2015.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job. Obviously, I don't personally know him, but I think when you look back at the season he had, when he went to the World Juniors, he really showed up and played for his country, and and definitely was one of the best players out there, if not the best. But also, I think when you look back on his season in the Q, obviously, again, the season didn't end up the way everybody expected. But I think, he had a really good year. He proved that he was a dominant player, and he was ready for the next step.
Okay, the next question's also from Brent. He's asking if you've binge watched anything.
What's that? Sorry?
Brent's asking if there are any shows that you've gotten into that maybe you've watched and from start to finish.
Obviously, my buddy's been big on talking about Tiger King, so I had to go on it and watch it. I think my buddies were over hyping it a little bit. It was good, but I didn't go crazy over it. But no, I've been hard on Money Heist right now. I kind of started it during the season, but never finished it. So I just restarted it during this period of time here, and I've been on it, and I'm getting on the season 4 right now.
Okay, and the last question in English also comes to us from Josh at the Canadian Press. He's asking if you've been watching any of the rebroadcast games, be it from the 70s, 80s, or 90s that we've recently seen on TV. And if you have, if you can offer comment on what you thought of the style of play.
Oh, I didn't watch the entire game, but I did caught it a little bit on TV. The Nordiques against Montreal, I think. One of their playoff series. I can't really remember which game it was on, but I think it was just funny, just how different the hockey was back then, and how the goalies played, how much the defenseman could hook the forwards and stop him from going wide or going to the net. So it's just, I mean, I've seen games before, and I've watched them on TV, but now that they showed the Quebec Nordiques, my dad was a huge fan, so it was fun to watch a bit of the game with them.